I'm jumping in, I'm jumping out, I'm jumping in and I'm flopping a ball. Yeah, I'm jumping in, I'm jumping out, I'm jumping in and I'm flopping a ball. Yeah, I'm jumping in, I'm jumping out, I'm jumping in and I'm flopping a ball. Yeah, I'm jumping, I'm jumping, I'm jumping, I'm jumping, I'm jumping, I'm jumping up in a ball. I'm jumping in, I'm jumping out, I'm jumping in and I'm flopping a ball. Yeah, I'm jumping in, I'm jumping out, I'm jumping in and I'm flopping a ball. Yeah.
All right, hi everyone. Peter here once again. It's time to do some more drawing in my sketchbook here. We got it's just, there's so many more empty pages here, and I've got pens with lines cooped up in them that want to be let out. So let's do that. Now, I did try to make a video previously with this, the zebra something Z-grip or something. I got these pens recently at a video I made where I went to the grocery store and tried to get some art supplies. And I was kind of excited to try these pens because they say all these crazy things like smoother ink, vibrant color, which I was a little bit curious about because how vibrant can black be, right? Well, it turns out I got a little bit frustrated because I kind of expected these pens to be a gel pen. Maybe I didn't read the package right. But I ended up not really liking this pen at all. And sometimes I can power through when I don't like a pen. And maybe I still can. Here's the drawing I started making, right? Not awful. I think I'm just going to have to come back and rescue this drawing later. Sometimes you can stick with it, but if it's discouraging you, sometimes it's better to move on and come back to it. Because, just draw what you want to draw. Don't let yourself get down. So that's going to be a drawing I come back to later. Probably not with this pen though. I've got to be honest. I've liked the Zebra brand. A lot of the other Zebra pens, like for example here, I've got a Zebra mechanical pencil. I think I've used that before, and I know I like those. But these are a little bit of like the grip is not comfortable. It's kind of got these weird ridges. It's just it hurts my poor little fingies. I don't know. I just didn't like it, okay? It's okay to have preferences, and it's just a pen, I know, but you're allowed to have a pen that you like and feels good drawing with. So now I'm going to try the Pilot Precise V7, which I've used in the past, but it might have been a while for me. I'm not sure. Let's give these a try, see if things go better, see if it feels better, and it's more of a holistically better experience with the ideas flowing, with the ideas flowing a little better. Oh yeah. I've always liked these pens because I wasn't sure if they were supposed to be, leaking into this area. I think they are, because you start to see the ink seeping down into these weird little ridges and channels, and it's kind of a cool effect. Not really sure what the design philosophy is there, but it's just kind of cool, I guess. Hope you're all doing okay today, by the way. It's currently Thursday, October 5th at 1:48 p.m. And yeah, good to see all of you. I'm trying to see you. I'm imagining you sitting there, standing there, lying there. Phones, computers, TV screens. I don't know how else you could be watching. tablets, projectors. You could be watching on VR, I guess. What else? Okay, but whatever.
Now, there was a point towards the end of this video where I floundered a little bit. I didn't know what to do next in the drawing. I didn't really love where it was at, but didn't know what else to add. And that's a good time to come back to it later, in an hour or a day or a year. But in this case, something somewhat fortuitous happened. I found another Pilot. I think I was calling these Pilot Precision V7, but I think it's just called Pilot Precise. I found another one that I'd had for a long time, and it was red. And so you'll see at the end of this video, maybe in like the last third of it, I start adding another color, some red accents, highlights. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're... I feel like calling them accents and highlights minimizes their role in the drawing. I feel like they're a pretty chunky part of the drawing. The weird thing is, the black pen that I'm drawing with, of which the cap I promptly lost. I should probably rewatch the intro to the video to see if I can see if I put the cap down in a weird place. But the pen still works okay, even though it's been uncapped for a few days. Anyways, this one that I unboxed at the beginning was a Pilot Precise V7, and it says fine on it, as if that's the caliber of tip, right? And then the red one I found, which I think I've had for years, says Pilot Precise V5, and it says ultra fine on it. I think this is kind of like how some pens say 0.7 millimeters or 0.5. It kind of gives you a hint as to, the breadth, the broadness of lines that they draw, but it seemed like these lines I was drawing were pretty much identical. It didn't really bother me. It's just I was trying to figure out what the difference was between them as I was using them. I was drawing the red lines next to the black lines, and they all kind of seemed the same. And it could be a myriad of reasons. It could come down to things like paper. Some papers, acknowledge pen nib widths better or worse. It could just be that it's an old pen, so the tip has gradually become broader somehow. Also, for as much as I use pens, I've realized I don't really understand some of the finer points of pens, such as the differences between like a ballpoint pen. What these ones are called, like roller ball pens, I think. Gel pens. I think if there had been diagrams of some of these, a lot of these would be overlapping. Because I think I called this a gel pen in the intro. I'm not sure it is. But whatever kind of ink it is, these Pilot Precise pens are so satisfying. In every single way that zebra pen I tried to use before on the previous page, in every way that one was unsatisfying, this one was so satisfying. And I think I have memories of finding one or two of these pens, like in my parents' junk drawer on my dad's desk when I was little, and doodling with them. And I feel like it's little memories, little moments like that of finding a pen that just draws so good that kind of were probably, I don't really know it nowadays, but probably like kind of pivotal in making drawing a thing that I loved growing up. I think just having a pen that's fun to draw with is a big deal. I stand by, the people who say, art supplies aren't everything. It's easy to get bogged down in which art supplies to use. Sometimes people never make any art or put off making art for so long because they're so caught up in whether or not they have the right paper and pens or paints and all this stuff. And it's easy to buy all this incredibly expensive stuff and worry that you're not making good art because you're not spending enough. That obviously is a dangerous path to go down, but I also can't deny the power of a nice, satisfying pen. And this is one of them. Just the way it draws the lines, and it's just so, it doesn't hold back any ink. It just gives you all the ink you want without being messy either. Like even when I'm scribbling in and filling in areas, it's just so satisfying. It comes out glistening, but then it dries fast enough. I just like it so much, you know. And the nice thing about it is, they come in 2-packs at the office supply store. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I feel like this, it just makes me happy knowing that there are pens that, pretty much everyone can get, within reason. Of course, not I'm saying everyone. I'm thinking of all those, there's probably like 5 billion people in the world, that live on $2 a day or something. So it probably exposes my own, shelteredness living in a first world country. But, yeah, I mean that within reason, I guess, or I guess common sense or something. Anyways. Also, I'll say that I didn't really like this drawing when I finished it. It happens, okay? It happens to everyone, maybe. I think it happens to most people. But I posted it on Instagram anyways. I felt like I would regret it if I didn't. Because my Instagram is kind of like an art journal in a way. Kind of documents my journey through art. So I try to post the good and the bad. I don't post the really bad, because mostly the really bad drawings are the ones I don't finish, or, I don't really ball up and throw anything away. But I post almost everything I draw. But a cool thing happened where when I looked at it like a day later, or it might have just been a few hours later, I started liking it more. I think it was after a few comments, Instagram comments, I feel kind of weird that I was swayed in my opinion of my own art by other people's comments, but it happened. Like one person left a comment saying, referring to how it looked like a space station exploding or something. And I hadn't looked at it like that. Like usually when I finish a drawing, it kind of looks like something. I start forming little imaginary scenarios about what it could be, because it's so, it's kind of non-representative of one specific thing, but images pop up in your mind, right? But when that person said it looked like a space station to them, I started looking at it with fresh eyes almost, and started seeing all this new, like, dynamism and stuff in it, and it was suddenly so much more interesting to me. So it's cool how things like that can happen. Just a little bit of suggestion, a little nudge in one direction or the other, can make you appreciate something more, when before it just kind of looked like clumps of lines on the paper. But clumps of lines on the paper can look cool too. That's often my approach at the beginning, just trying to create cool curves and lines and textures and contrasts and stuff like that. Anyways, thanks for listening, watching, and hope you all have a good day. All right. Goodbye.